What it do, dirtbags? It's been far too long, but I finally made my way back. Apologies for the large break, but you know me, anytime I get the ball rolling, anytime I get a couple subscribers extra, a little wave of fun going on, I'm like, nah, I'm good, I'll take a little break right now. But no, in all actuality, there was just there was nothing. There was literally no drama that I wanted to cover in the month of January. I'm gonna have to start looking for other things to start covering because things just got boring for some reason. Very long stretch of nothing happening. But finally something interesting happened. I finally have something to talk about. So without further ado, I'll make you wait no longer. No more time wasted on my meandering. Why don't we go ahead and get started? So the subject of today's video is a little name you might recognize. His name is Vaush. If you have no idea who Vaush is, I'll give you the rundown. Basically, he's one of these political Twitch streamer communist types. I think he's mildly smarter than Hassan, but that's like being the smartest kid on the short bus, so it's really not saying that much. But Vaush is sort of well known for having certain degenerate habits. He has a bit of an equestrian fetish, if you will. But to be fair, plenty of people I look up to who aren't communists have fetishes and degeneracy that makes them weird, and I still look up to them. But you would think someone who's sort of coming under fire in a lot of different ways for being a bit of a weirdo would not be also a hypocrite about being a weirdo, right? If you're gonna be a freak, at least you could be an honest freak, right? Well, apparently not, because recently Vaush was on stream and landed himself in a bit of hot water because of some hypocrisy. I think I'll just show you the clip because it speaks for itself. Apologies for the low quality of the clips and videos I'm going to be showing you today. I had to capture them on my phone, so not exactly the best.
What is it about anime that attracts Nazis? In this case, it's literally the pedophilia angle. It's that anime has a ton of f***ing lolly shit, and a ton of Nazis are hyper insecure in their masculinity, and they want like a trad wife, or whatever, untainted by feminism, that they can control and manipulate because they have no other experiences. And anime is perfect for people with that kind of psychosis.
A few moments later.
You can see this is an example of the kind of structure that I'm referring to.
Even though the video is low quality, I'm still gonna have to blur that, aren't I? Anyway, point being, recently he talked all this stuff about how the far right, or whatever his political enemies are, I don't really care about politics, so don't look for a political message in this video, but he started talking about how the far right, or whatever, gets attracted to anime because of the lollies, which I have talked about in the past, but just in case, I really don't want to get, like, misrepresented as one of these degenerates for defending them. But to reiterate my point, my idea on this sort of subject matter, the 2D images don't really affect real people, so I don't care what degenerates want to beat their schmeat to. I don't really have a problem with them going out and looking at these disgusting little messed up pictures of 2D anime girls. It's sort of my same opinion on furries, where, you can't, like, end their career, you can't get them arrested for this kind of thing. Even though these images are pretty gross, pretty upsetting, you can't do anything terrible to them, but you should also probably not hire a furry if you work for a zoo. And the same thing goes for these lolicons, these degenerates that enjoy depictions of 2D anime girls. It's sort of a hurdle too high to jump over for some people, and I understand that, but I still feel like most people who enjoy this sort of thing, these degenerates, they shouldn't have their careers ended, they shouldn't be removed from making YouTube videos and such just because they have a pretty gross fetish. Because at the end of the day, most furries aren't going out there and doing terrible things to animals, and I trust that most of these people who are into these anime girls aren't out there doing terrible things to real children. I haven't really seen cases of that, so I'm willing to at least defend their right to exist as long as they don't do anything to real people. That's not to say stuff like that doesn't happen, especially with furries. There are a lot of cases of them doing things to real animals, and I'm not very happy about that fact, but the vast majority of them claim that that's not the point, and I believe them, kind of. Sorry, I gotta tiptoe around making fun of furries because the most success I saw early on YouTube was from a furry that I tried to piss off being like incredibly nice to me for some reason, sending basically his entire audience to subscribe to me. Speaking of which, shout out to Mr. Bubbles, you're real as hell. I'm sorry for making fun of you, but you are kind of a degenerate. Anyway, point being, there's some level of separation between 2D images of furries or anime girls or whatever from the actual thing. It's not like these resemble real children that much, because anime characters in general just don't look that much like humans. They're kind of alien, they have these big eyes, these weird proportions, these weird body shapes. You can't look at a One Piece character and tell me it's a real person. Like, if you could muster up the energy to beat your schmeat to a Bob the Builder cartoon. I'm not gonna just assume that you have a fetish for carpenters, but all this is to say that there is a sect of people who are both degenerate and agree with what Vaush is into, as well as people like me who aren't into that kind of thing but would defend him anyway if only he had not started this drama by being a hypocrite. And because of that hypocrisy, people who do their nasty to the same exact kind of thing he does ended up making this popular by making fun of it enough that there are now people who aren't in this realm of degeneracy talking about it. In fact, it's kind of spiraled into a major bit of drama. One of the first people I saw defending Vaush on this was a little man named Tipster, and all my individuals do not like Tipster. All my individuals, all my people. I'm not gonna say the N-word. I almost did, but I stopped myself. Can barely curse on this platform anymore. Definitely not getting away with saying that word. Anyway, Tipster came out to defend this guy by basically, joking around a couple times, saying maybe don't look at stuff on your computer. That's a pretty easy way to avoid this from happening, which is definitely true. Definitely don't, do that. I mean, that's already just kind of a awkward thing to be doing, like hunched over at a desk just looking at these kinds of images. That's a little profane, if you will. And this was just the start of things to come, as several other creators began to notice what had happened. For instance, the only good VTuber, Pipkin Pippa, posted this. Vaush having porn of Natsuhito Matsuri and calling her a goblin was not even within the realm of possibility of being thought of on a 2024 bingo card. But this story would not stay fixated on making fun of Vaush as a simple sort of deridement for very long, because bigger and bigger people got involved. Chiefly among them, my absolute darling favorite YouTuber, the greatest man on the platform, H3H3 Ethan Klein. You know how much I adore Ethan Klein, it's crazy. So Ethan started making fun of Vaush for his previous degeneracy, which, as I said, was of the equestrian variety. He is well known for that sort of thing, but it is relatively old. I mean, he was bringing up stuff from like 2018.
8 inches. Bro, you are a vile freak, bro. You gotta get a life outside. Just
think about horse culture.
Tacoma's weeping right now, bro.
I feel like my phrasing is making it sound like I'm defending Vaush. I don't like Vaush. I hate Vaush. I just hate H3 more. But if we're bringing up stuff from that era of 2018 and such, H3 said some things. He said some pretty funny things, didn't he?
It's just a wonderful string of words that really gets you going. Fuck you. I love that I can just say I love saying.
But other than just making fun of the thing that everyone, including me, makes fun of Vaush for, he also started talking about how disgusting and wretched these images are, these 2D images of anime girls, and he's like, oh my god, they found the images.
The fact that this is drawn is
oh my god, these are the images. They found them all. Oh, it's even worse than I thought.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, whoa, these people are psycho how they figured all this out.
That's the internet for you.
These are children. Like this photo here of like these are little
like
girls.
Anime, but they look really young.
They're all drawings. Look at this one. This one, it's like Snow White. It's like busty, young-looking Snow White.
So bad, dude.
Yeah.
With a look at this, Hila.
I see.
Okay, maybe.
What's your argument?
We get the idea.
Yeah, you're right, Cam. That actually puts it into context for me. I mean, that's nuts, bro.
Which, yeah, they're pretty grody, they're pretty not great images, but the treatment of it has been kind of entertaining, to say the least. And as a couple people on anime Twitter have pointed out, that the sort of cognitive dissonance going on here is a little weird. These images, they're pretty grody, they're pretty not great. If you're not into this sort of thing, it's just gross. It's not something appealing to the average person. You gotta be a real freak, a real degenerate, a real fan of Cruise Mix to be into this kind of thing. And if you're not, you're just not gonna like these. But to be a creator, to be someone with a large platform claiming that these are disgusting, horrible images, they should all be illegal and that sort of thing, but also expose them to your fan base and react to them like, whoa, this is crazy, guys, is sort of, it's weird. It's just a weird way to be. The only real way to see it is disingenuous, because, like, if you thought it was real, horrible, kind of child exploity sort of things, you would have a much more vitriolic, a much more aggressive, call the cops sort of attitude. But instead, it's this subdued, like, wow, oh my my god kind of thing, and it's like, it just reads kind of weird. But like, if you described this to someone on the street, they would obviously side with H3, because it just, at face value, if you just list out what's going on here, they're gonna be like, ew, yeah, that's gross, I don't support that guy. Which again, I do feel the need to reiterate, I absolutely despise Vaush. He's one of the people I hate most on any of these platforms. Which is why this drama has become so very entertaining for me. Because it's become a war between the people I hate most, like H3, Kafals, Vaush, just people I absolutely despise. And it's been pretty entertaining to see things like H3 being in Vaush's DM saying he's gonna platform him, give him a chance to defend himself, and then like going on his Instagram and making fun of him, which, yeah, that's pretty entertaining, that's pretty good. Even Destiny got involved by talking about how Vaush has no friends within the streaming community and making fun of him for the whole horse thing, and yeah, that's pretty great. I love watching these people infight. I absolutely hate Destiny, I absolutely hate H3 and Vaush, and it's just good fun to watch them fight. And I guess just like any other drama she's involved in, Kafal's sort of found a way to make herself the center of attention to the point that Pan Pizza said, I don't like Kafals, which Pan is literally one of my favorite creators on anything. He's so great. This isn't even sarcasm, I actually genuinely love Pan Pizza. He was one of my biggest inspirations to just pull the trigger and actually make YouTube videos. Actually, another one of my biggest inspirations got in on this. Turkey Tom said having to explain to anyone that you want to be the horse that fornicates the little anime girls is so funny to me. What kind of childhood trauma leads to this? And he was responding to Keemstar posting the defense Vaush gave, which is pretty funny.
Off is this or that, okay? I'll make it clear. You can write this down. I want to fuck a woman as a horse. None of this is a secret. To be clear, you know, many jokes have been made about this, but I stand by it. My moral principles are rock solid. My feet are firmly planted in the ground. I've got my boots up. They're planted firmly. You cannot move me from my position. This isn't a secret. Let's talk to a therapist. Well, why do you want to be the horse, Vaush? Because then I'd have a giant dick. Okay, couldn't you have a big dick the other way? Well, yeah, I could. Like, yeah, I could have a big dick hypothetically in any variety of scenarios, but then it wouldn't really be a horse dick. Well, you could be a human with a horse dick. Yes, but then I wouldn't have that powerful stallion energy using it. There you go. That's it. That's the whole thing.
It's so funny to see that he's dug himself into a hole with this, where people would be coming to his defense, the degenerates would be absolutely just like, hey, it's not that bad, man, don't be mean to him, if only he hadn't been a hypocrite to start with. He's at a point now where he nebulously exists within the realm of degenerates will not flock to him, and neither will the people who are like too normie to be okay with this kind of degeneracy. So the only friends he has are the communists that exist around him, which is so much more funny whenever it's been exposed for years that he's into this kind of thing. I mean, he could have figured out a stance that would lead to him not being in trouble for this a while ago, but he still hadn't. I mean, as I've alluded to a couple times, he has been made fun of for his whole horse interactions for a while.
Hey, Billy over there, 110.
I see what you mean by Vaush's house now, chat.
Now, to round things off, Keemstar said later towards the end of all this drama, I don't understand why Vaush wasn't banned from social media years ago. All these platforms claim that they want to protect child safety online, but then you have a popular streamer saying stuff like this over and over for years. Now, this is not in reference to the 2D images thing. This is in reference to some very, very unsavory things Vaush has said about the 3D variety of these kinds of images. I'm not even going to show the clip just because it really makes me uncomfortable what is being said here. I don't know if it's out of context. I've heard a lot of Vaush fans say it is, so maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt even though I hate the guy. The claim is that Vaush was trying to say that CP, I hope I can get away with that. He's trying to claim that everyone agrees that's bad, but not enough people are willing to, you know, agree that other things that exploit children, like diamond mines or sweatshops, are condemned as unanimously. But man, you could not tell that from the clip. If he meant it the way he sounded as if he meant it, it is not good. It is very bad. If you want to see for yourself, the tweet is still up. But the point is, outside of 2D images and this recent drama, Vaush has said some very uncomfortable things that make it just impossible to discuss this guy. It makes it really uncomfortable. And that's aside from things like the time he made fun of a victim of the R word. He's done a lot of really unsavory things. Like, I hate communists just in general, but that is the least of the issues with the things this man has said. But to summarize basically the entire point of this video, hating Vaush is kind of cool now, which sucks because I hated him before it was cool, and I'm kind of not getting the recognition I deserve for that. Like, put some respect on the name. I hated Vaush since day one. But I think that'll about do it for today. Before I go though, I'd be remiss to not say thank you so much for the support you showed me on the last video. I mean, to any other YouTuber, these might be small numbers, but you guys did amazing. 19,000 views, up to 600 subscribers. You literally doubled my subscriber count over nothing. So thank you all so much. Whenever I get famous and huge and big and everybody knows my name, I'll remember every last one of you. But that offer won't last too long, so if you really want to be a part of the Crucifix wave, you better get on it quick. Make sweet love with that subscribe button, give me everything, go to my Twitter, check it out, hit up every possible avenue that you can to support me, and I'll find a way to support you with my voice and nothing else. Thank you so much for watching. My name is, has been, and will be Crucifix in the foreseeable future. I love you. Goodbye.